The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning to you here at 5 a.m. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher.
First, we begin with developing news out of southwest Bakersfield, where police are investigating an apparent home invasion. It happened out Lamage's Way around 7:45 last night. That is south of Ming Avenue near Hagen Oaks Park. Police could not provide many details other than to say no one was hurt, and they're still looking for 2 suspects.
And making news around the nation today, the city of Memphis, Tennessee, on edge following the arrests of 5 former Memphis police officers charged with murder. The videotape showing the beating of Tyree Nichols is set to be released today, with officials urging calm in Memphis and around the country. NBC's Priscilla Thompson has more.
5 former Memphis police officers have been charged with second-degree murder in the deadly arrest of 29-year-old Tyree Nichols.
While each of the 5 individuals played a different role in the incident in question, the actions of all of them resulted in the death of Tyree Nichols, and they are all responsible.
All 5 officers also charged with aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, and official misconduct charges.
What happened here does not at all reflect proper policing. This was wrong. This was criminal.
The announcement comes amid rising tension ahead of the release of video from the deadly traffic stop.
He was a human piñata for those police officers. It was an unadulterated, unabashed, nonstop beating of this young boy for 3 minutes.
Oh my God.
Tyree's mother, heartbroken. Her son was a dad and loved to skateboard.
You all had an opportunity to view this video.
I watched about a minute of it, but I couldn't. Once I heard my son say, "What did I do?" I lost it, and I couldn't.
Police say they stopped Nichols for reckless driving on January 7th and that 2 confrontations ensued, after which Nichols complained of shortness of breath. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition and died 3 days later.
We're better than this. We're better than the egregious conduct and actions of those police officers.
Nearly 2 weeks after the incident, all 5 officers were fired after an internal investigation found they violated multiple department policies, including excessive use of force, duty to intervene, and duty to render aid. The attorneys representing 2 of the officers saying their clients plan on pleading not guilty.
No one out there that night intended for Tyree Nichols to die. No one.
2 Memphis Fire Department personnel who helped care for Nichols have also been relieved of duty, pending an investigation, the department says. The Shelby County District Attorney's Office, the FBI, and Department of Justice are all now investigating.
Priscilla Thompson with that report. In your Crime Watch this morning, a short trip to buy plants ended up costing a Bakersfield woman the use of her car.
I went in to Home Depot, me and my sister. We were only in the garden section for 20 minutes. Came outside, put my plants in the back of the car, went to start up, and then this horrible loud noise scared me to death, and I turned it off, and I smelled the gas, and I guessed at that time that it was a catalytic converter.
Cheryl Powell, who uses a wheelchair, was parked in a disabled spot close to the store on Rosedale Highway when the theft happened. Powell says she was the only one, or she only has one car, which has hand controls that allow her to drive. That car now has to be sent to a repair shop. Powell calling it a big inconvenience. She says her pastor also drives a Honda Element and had his catalytic converter stolen last week. His mechanic says Honda's catalytic converters are, quote, a really hot item right now. No arrests have been made. And a catalytic converter theft prevention event slated for next month in Lamont is fully booked. KCSO Crime Prevention confirmed that to us, but they say they're planning another event in March in the Kern River Valley. We'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more.
It's been over a week now since we first brought you breaking news of a Bakersfield police car that was involved in a deadly accident, but there are still very few details. The crash happened last Thursday morning at South Vineland and Muller Roads in a rural area of Kern County with vineyards and orchards about 8 miles due east of the fairgrounds. What we know for sure is that a police car crashed into a Honda Accord, killing 31-year-old Mario Laris and injuring 3 others, including 2 police officers. It happened about a mile from where other Bakersfield police officers were pursuing a reportedly stolen pickup. The Highway Patrol is investigating and declined to answer even basic questions about the deadly crash. We asked which officer was driving. We asked if the officers were wearing seat belts. We asked if the police car's emergency lights were activated and whether anyone in the accident was given a drug or alcohol test. CHP Public Information Officer Tomas Martinez declined to answer because he said the accident is under investigation. We asked how an investigation might be impeded by revealing a basic fact such as which officer was driving, and he said he couldn't answer that question because it was under investigation.
Former NFL star Colin Kaepernick is releasing a new docuseries on Hulu, and it hits close to home. The series, called Killing County, explores alleged corruption experienced by multiple families at the hands of local law enforcement, particularly the Bakersfield Police Department, as one family hunts for answers and the truth in their loved one's death. 17's Michaela Armstrong has more.
911, what is your emergency?
I'm hearing all kinds of gunshots down the street from my house.
2 people are dead and a BPD officer is in the hospital following an early morning shooting at a Southwest Bakersfield hotel.
My son died in a shootout.
That son is Jorge Ramirez Jr., the victim of a fatal officer-involved shooting that is the center of the Hulu docuseries Killing County. Ramirez was shot and killed by Bakersfield police in 2013 outside the 4 Point Sheridan Hotel on California Avenue while working as an off-the-books informant. No officers were charged in connection to the shooting. However, it was revealed that BPD detectives Damasio Diaz and Patrick Mara were involved in making Ramirez an informant. Diaz participated in the docuseries and discussed being sentenced to 5 years in prison in 2016 for stealing drugs and putting them back on the street.
I was wrong, and I admit that.
In 2018, Ramirez's father told 17 News Diaz was behind his son's death.
As far as I'm concerned, he sent my son to his death.
A few years after Ramirez was killed, his family was still fighting for justice against the department.
We want the officers to be held accountable, and we are going to fight for justice for my brother, and they'll never forget who we are because we'll always stand strong.
Now, nearly 10 years since his death, they are using this platform to make sure he is never forgotten and share the stories of other families who have experienced the same. Michaela Armstrong, 17 News.
Police up in Fresno are investigating a suspicious package this morning that was found at the Selland Arena. It happened just after 7 p.m. Personnel at the arena reported the package appeared near a loading dock right before the Disney on Ice show taking place at the building. Police said the unmarked package was no bigger than a backpack, but no one had come to claim it, and that raised concerns. Upon arrival, authorities said arena officials chose to continue the show rather than evacuate the building.
They had some concerns about the package, being that nobody claimed it. It looked suspicious to them. They also had some concerns that they went around and asked people if anybody knew who the package belonged to. At the time, it appeared that it was towards the start of the Disney on Ice event, and that's when they had hundreds of people coming through that area.
Officials are still trying to determine what was inside the suspicious package.
Last night, local families remembered loved ones whose lives were cut short by addiction. Be Finally Free hosted Light a Candle at the park at Riverwalk. The event was an opportunity for addicts, their families, and anyone who's lost a loved one to addiction to learn about community resources, hear personal stories of how addiction has impacted families, and get encouragement and support. Brian and Keir Butterworth lost their daughter, Heather.
She's 30 years old, and more than her addiction, she was a wonderful, beautiful woman, and addiction stole the light, but she came back from the light, and then fentanyl sadly took her in May of 21.
Come here today to light a candle to
For more information and resources on addiction, you can go to befinallyfree.org.
Happening today, a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the opening of the new Stockdale River Ranch multi-use trail. The 2.5-mile trail will connect the Stockdale River Ranch housing development on the west side with the existing Kern River bike path to the south. The $1.1 million project, it's a partnership between the city of Bakersfield and Bolthouse Properties, broke ground in March 2020. The project includes a 100-foot long, 12-foot wide bridge over the Cross Valley Canal. The pathway will accommodate bicyclists, pedestrians, and people with disabilities.
Well, the hottest place to eat in Bakersfield doesn't have linen napkins or sterling flatware, and it doesn't require reservations. It's at the corner of Rosedale and Callaway, and it's lined with food trucks, unofficially called the SoCal Food Truck Park. The trucks offer a wide variety of food options, including tamales, sliders, funnel cakes, shrimp cocktails, grilled steak, and tacos. Hamburgers and a coffee truck are in the works. Owner Alex Ruiz says we can look forward to live entertainment at the venue this summer. Get It Twisted truck owner Sebastian and Alex Morales like the truck park setting because they like seeing families come together to try different foods.
I see families and friends sit down in one table and then they get something from one truck, from the other food truck, the other food trailer, and they all kind of share and taste, and then they go back and get like whatever they like the best. They go back and try some more of that, and also it's pretty cool.
SoCal Food Truck Park is located at 9701 Rosedale Highway, and it's open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
Students from the Kern High School District gathered at Mechanics Bank Arena yesterday. They'll also gather again today for the Virtual Enterprise State Conference and Exhibition. The student virtual enterprise firms competing in these final rounds are among the 42 firms that have scored the highest in regional competitions from across the state, such as marketing, human resources, and elevator pitches. Brian Miller, principal of Kern High Regional Occupational Programs, says opportunities like these provide students with meaningful, real-life, hands-on experience.
This is a wonderful opportunity to explore the world of business while they're in high school and kind of get some of those foundational skills and also be able to network with each other and get some of those career readiness skills and kind of figure out if that's an avenue, a pathway that they want to pursue after they graduate high school. So many of them will figure that out through this program and go on and work for businesses, be the leaders in their companies, continue their education and pursue jobs and career paths within the business sector.
The competition will continue today, concluding with an award ceremony at 1:15 p.m. The top 8 firms will advance to compete in the Virtual Enterprise International Business Plan competition later this spring in New York City.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.